If you're wondering where to save your next dollar as your income increases, I'm going to show you the four different savings order of operations that I send to my clients based on their situation. And it's broken up into the four parts of whether you are W 2 employed or self employed, and whether your income is above or below the modified adjusted gross income phase out thresholds to contribute to a Roth IRA or to deduct traditional IRA contributions. We'll start with W 2 income above the 2025 phase out thresholds, which you can see those numbers here. Now, those numbers change every year, so you want to make sure you're keeping up with that. We'll start with the emergency fund and paying off high interest debt. Then we'll fill up the qualified retirement account up to your employer match. Then consider an HSA, FSA, or dependent care FSA. Then fill up the remaining annual maximum contribution to your qualified retirement account. Then an after-tax IRA. Remember, you can't do a Roth or deduct traditional IRA contributions when your income is above the phase-out thresholds. Then, if your qualified retirement plan allows for it, doing the after-tax all additions limit. And then finally, the employee stock purchase plan or taxable brokerage. The taxable brokerage is great for early retirement, so you might want to move that up if that's a high priority for you, right? All these things can be moved depending on your situation. Next is self-employment income above the 2025 phase-out threshold. So it's a little bit different. We start the same with the emergency fund, paying off high interest debt, but we have different retirement accounts when we're self-employed. It could be a SEP IRA, simple IRA, solo 401k. Then consider the HSA, FSA, dependent care FSA. Then, if you have a solo 401k, we'd want to fill up the after-tax all additions limit, then the after-tax IRA, and then finally taxable brokerage. If you have W 2 income below the phase-out thresholds, then what we really mainly change is that your IRA bucket moves up a little bit. So you can see it's a lot of the same order, but then number 4 is doing either a Roth or traditional IRA before you consider filling up the remaining annual maximum contribution to your qualified retirement plan. Everything else is the same. And the same concept applies to self-employment income below the 2025 phase-out thresholds. We're just moving the traditional or Roth IRA up in front of the solo 401k after-tax all additions limit. This is just a conversation starter. It's just a place to think about the concepts of where you want to save. I didn't even include in here 529 plans. There are other options out there, but this is just to think about where you want to begin. Once you fill up one bucket, what's that next bucket that you should fill up to reach your goals?